Tomasio here. How's everybody doing? Uh, Check it out. Melania Trump for First Lady. Melania Trump for First Lady. Very important. And breaking here, this is important. Everyone's got to share this. This is very, very important. Okay. Heidi Cruz got on CNN last night with Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper is the the host of the show on CNN. I like Anderson Cooper, okay? Now, what happened last night, I don't like Anderson Cooper anymore. It was horrible, okay? What happened is just horrible. And they talk about anti-immigrant, okay? Melania Trump is a legal immigrant, and she got snubbed by Anderson Cooper. Okay, what happened was last night Heidi Cruz gets asked what she's going to do as First Lady. Now, the night before, Melania Trump doesn't get the question. Okay, instead he goes to Trump's daughter Ivanka with the first question for the family, and not to the wife. I picked it up right away. Melania was totally disrespected. Now, I'm going to play for you, just so you know. Here is Heidi Cruz last night. Here's the question. And I'm not going to play the whole thing, but check it out. Okay, so like I said, this is Heidi Cruz last night on becoming the First Lady of the United States. Anderson Cooper's show. Okay. Yet up to 90% fall short of getting key nutrients from we'll wait till the commercial's over. But this is really, really big because CNN keeps bashing Trump. And look what they did.
If you are First Lady, what will be your platform? Oh, thank you so much for that generous question. I have to preface my answer, and I will answer your question, by stating the obvious, which is we are in the middle of a primary that is tough. There have been a lot of wonderful candidates. If you are First Lady, what will be your platform? Oh, thank you so much for that generous question. I have to preface my answer, and I will answer your question, by stating the obvious, which is we are in the middle of a primary that is tough. There have been a lot of wonderful candidates that we've been working around, and so we are traveling the states. And so our campaign is spending 100% of our effort on winning this primary and on Ted winning the nomination. So not a lot of time or resource has gone into what would be a First Lady's platform. That being said, I do think that to voters, the family is important in what we represent. And one of the reasons that I've been excited even to campaign with Ted alongside him is because of the opportunity to serve others. And there's so many things, so many needs that we have in this country. In fact, my daughters asked when we launched the campaign, we thought it might be a surprise to them that their father would be running for president. We explained that their biggest concern was mommy not going to the office. And what did that mean? And so they asked, what is a First Lady? And I said, well, it's the wife of the president. And Caroline had never heard an answer like that from me. So she said, oh, Mom, come on. Let me ask again, what is a First Lady? What are you going to do? She had the exact same question. And so I described to her some of the things that we could do together. And I think one of the great joys would be doing something for kids. And my two daughters are so near and dear to my heart, and I would love to do something that focused on young girls, their self-esteem and leadership in the world for women. My parents had my brother and I start a business when we were 6 and 8. We ran that business for about 10 years, baking bread. I learned so much through that process. And so something around the concept of entrepreneurship. And then a cause that Ted and I have always shared that's been near and dear to our hearts that I think is maybe truly one of the most important in this country at this time for kids is school choice. And I would work very hard to ensure that every child in this country had a fair and equal opportunity at a quality education.
Okay, there you got it. Right out of the... So, do you see what they did? Okay, they totally disrespected Melania Trump. Okay, now, all right. So, what does this mean? What in the world does this mean for all of us? What should we do? How should we respond to this? Well, I'm telling you how we should respond to this with outrage. Okay, they're so offended. You know what I mean? By, oh, Donald Trump getting into a fight with, Jeb Bush or Marco Rubio saying things about Trump's hands, and everybody's like so offended. Oh, the presidential race has just stooped to horrible new lows. Okay. Now, in the meantime, what has happened? What has happened with the women? Okay, what has happened with the women? Someone answer that question. What has happened with the women? Well, the women were pretty much doing their thing privately until someone puts Melania Trump modeling picture out and uses it against her and against Trump. That's what started the problem. Okay? So, Trump retweets Heidi Cruz next to his wife, and he didn't write it. He just passed it on. Someone saying, hey, who would you rather have as a first lady? Okay. Now, oh, this is horrible. Horrible. Donald Trump, what a horrible person you are for retweeting that, you know? Okay, so now, Melania was a model, and she obviously did a nude shot for a magazine. All right, now, right or wrong, it's something that has happened in her past. Okay, right or wrong. Worst case scenario, it was wrong. Worst case scenario, she regrets it. Okay? Now, do you have anything in your past that you regret? I'm sure she made a lot of money on that. And, coming from Slovakia and over in some of those European countries, the women are nude on the beach, at least topless. Okay, it's not as big a deal over there as it is here. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, those without sin cast the first stone, and none of us are without sin. Now, maybe her intentions were very, very good in that shoot. She wasn't trying to be pornographic in it. She was just taking some pictures, and she's very, very beautiful, obviously. Very, very beautiful. So it's borderline, it's clearly borderline. She's very beautiful, and it's very suggestive. Now, and a lot of people have issues, problems with lust and things of that nature. So, I can almost guarantee Melania is probably like, well, you know what, I was young, I wasn't thinking that I was going to be possible first lady. But the bottom line is, Heidi Cruz has got stuff in her past. I got stuff in my past. Everybody's got stuff in their past. So we're going to bring that up 10 years later and say, oh, well, this disqualifies you. Well, let the American people be the judge of that. Okay? Let the American people be the judge of that. So here's the question. The Anderson Cooper show, Melania clearly gets snubbed. Now, why did he snub her? Why did he pass her up on the first question to the family? And why did he make sure that she wasn't asked what she would do as a first lady? Why? Okay. Because she's an immigrant? Because she's a legal immigrant. She's a legal immigrant and she's going to get snubbed, right? Is that the reason? Because she's a legal immigrant? Okay, maybe. Because she speaks the truth, like her husband? Maybe. you got to look at these possibilities, because Cooper's judging her because she did a nude picture. Maybe. Maybe he's disgusted by nude pictures of women. I don't know. But for some reason, he clearly, whether conscious or subconscious, he really snubbed Melania. Okay, so Heidi Cruz comes on, it's a different story. She gets asked the very important question, the honorable question, and she even was honored by being asked that question, and Melania should have had that. Now, here's the thing. If you're Heidi Cruz, and you know Melania was not asked that question, you know it, so what happens? You get asked a question and you say this, you know what? Melania Trump was not given the courtesy of being asked that question, so I'm not going to answer that question because it was discrimination against Melania, whether it was for her ethnicity, the fact that she was a legal alien, or because she had a nude photo taken as a model. Now, whatever the reason that Cooper snubbed her, Heidi Cruz could have done something very Christian. Okay, instead of seizing the moment, and she clearly was prepared for that question. She had so much to say, and you just saw it. Okay, so the point is this. We as American people have got to make a decision who we want as our next president. Okay, and I am saying I want people who are going to be truthful and honest. Not perfect, not people without ever having made a mistake, but people who are truthful and people who are honest. And that's what we're going to get with Donald Trump and Melania Trump. I can tell you that right now. What you see is what you get. Okay, and I appreciate that because we're not being tricked, deceived, and Trump's saying a lot of things that we never knew. He's exposing a lot of stuff, and that's very important. And ultimately, he cares about the United States of America and the well-being of the people here who are legal. Okay? He doesn't hate illegal immigrants. He's just saying it's illegal. You got to do it legally. Okay? Cops don't hate people who they give tickets to, but they were speeding. Okay? Now, that's just the law. That's how it works. You don't like it? Well, too bad. That's how it works. So anyway, spread this video. Get the word out. We are so sorry that Melania Trump was disrespected. Personally, I am very ashamed of Anderson Cooper, of America, really, for doing this to this beautiful woman. And I hope they give her a chance very soon. Thank you. Check out Catholics for Trump, Catholics for Melania, and on Facebook. Okay? Beautiful. God bless.